All right, man. We're live. We are live. We are live. We are live. You guys, welcome back to another episode. Damn, where is my hold on? Oh shit. I need my water. Y'all give me 1 second. Damn, I don't have my water. Oh man, this is gonna be hell. Okay, well, it is what it is. We gotta do what we do. Shit. All right, anyway, man, welcome back to another episode of the Winner's Diet Show. I'm your host, Mac Solomon, aka Project Mac. Welcome back on another Wednesday. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Hope everybody is doing well. Hope you guys are having a good week. Happy hump day. Man, we live and direct. You know, it's almost the end of the month. It's crazy, man. We time is going by quick, man. Time is going by quick. So hopefully you guys are on top of your goals. You guys are doing everything that you need to do um, to be successful this year. But time is not slowing down, as I always say. So whatever it is that you guys have planned for yourself, make sure you guys do it to the best of your ability. Anyway, we got a good show lined up for you guys today, man. First and foremost, before we start, if you guys are looking to build muscle and lose fat, make sure you guys go ahead and tap in with my free 7-day fat loss guide. All right. I'm breaking down in 7 days how to lose body fat, build muscle, giving you guys access to sample workout plans, sample meal plans, the mentality that it takes to lose body fat and build muscle, all in 7 days. And it's free. All right. That's the best part about this whole thing. It's free. So it's free 99. You guys can go ahead and get that on the website or just hit that link in the chat. Um, winnersdietclub.com. What's going on? Miss James SK. What's going on? But yeah, man, if you guys have questions about fitness, anything fitness related, go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll try to answer in between segments of the show. So if you guys have goals, things you guys are struggling with, things you guys are working on currently, please feel free to put it in the chat. What's going on, Creed Stafford? What's going on? Make sure you guys hit that like button, please. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. You guys have been showing a lot of love on YouTube lately. You know, definitely getting the views up, so that's good. Um, as well as TikTok and Instagram as well. We need some more work on Instagram. You know, we're getting there. You know, we had a phase where we were drawing in a lot of views. I don't know what happened, but you know, it is what it is. But just hit that like button, please. Hit that subscribe button. What's going on? Karina Yazzie 5627. What's going on? What's going on? We appreciate you guys for tapping in. Man, we got a good show lined up for you guys today. You guys know I'm all about helping men reach the highest levels in their fitness journey. Women too. I cater to women as well. But mainly the men is who I'm focused on. So you guys know I'm catered to just getting men to the highest level as possible in their fitness journey, and sometimes that comes with issues, right? It comes with you uh unlearning and deprogramming the weak mindset that you guys used to have, right? So we'll break that down towards the end. That is the main topic of today's show. America has a weak man apocalypse. All right. But before that, we have our first two segments: the Fit Report, reporting on fitness news, fitness things, fitness topics in the industry, what's going on in the industry. And then we have What the Fitness, reacting to viral, trendy fitness videos, as well as winner's diet centered topics. All right. But before we get into that, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. 67 High Ohio Giat 123. I don't know what that means. And then Karina Yazzie 5627 says, "What are you talking about?" Um, you might just have she might have just came in here. And then Kimberly Kincaid 578, "Can you sing?" I cannot sing. No. Only in the shower though. Only in the shower. In the shower, I can put on a Grammy worthy performance. So, but it's a lot of ladies in here today, man. Where are all the fellas at, man? Shout out to the fellas. You know, this game is for y'all. Sometimes I gotta get on you guys. Last week we had a lot of trolls in here, man. It was crazy. But and that's kind of catered towards today's topic, weak men. Only weak men troll. As much as I appreciate the trolls in the chat, you also got to realize that these are just weak men, man. I don't know how old these guys are. They could be teenagers for all I know. But trolling has no age limit, and it's really just a mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's all it is. It's really just a mentality. Hey, we got one in here. Hey, we got a troll. We got one. That chain is zesty. Well, I wear this chain when I'm putting it down your mom's throat. So, I keep this chain on whenever your mama calls me over for that late night. You can't even pull that chain over your head. I don't need to. That's not what it's for. You know what? Trolls are not gonna get the best of me today, man. As much as I like engaging with trolls, I'm not gonna do it today. I'm just gonna ignore you, block you. You know what I'm saying? Go back to your basement and jack off. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are the underbelly of society. And yeah, nobody gives a fuck about y'all. So there's that. But anyway, let's get to today's show, man. The first topic of the Fit Report, what's happening in the fitness industry. He says, "Yo, Jason Derulo." Shout out to Jason Derulo, man. That's the homie, actually. That's actually my homie. I ain't spoke to him in a while, but we used to work out together during COVID when I was in LA. So shout out to Jason. I know his cousins, real cool with them. So yeah. Anyway, man, we got niggas in here trolling, talking about you got 3 people watching, but you watching. So what does that say about you? If it's a sad stream, but you clicked on it to watch me, you bitch made Teletubby frog built ass nigga. Fuck out of here. You still watching me. Dudes are funny, man. Hey, this show is dedicated to you bitch made niggas. I swear to God, today's show is dedicated to bitch made niggas today, man. So let's get into the first topic of today's show. Here we go. Gym bros are ditching steroids for these healthier performance enhancers. All right, let's take a look at what this article says. Swole. Without the serious side effects, for generations, gym rats have turned to illicit steroid use for bigger muscles, despite the numerous side effects and dangerous risk from roid rage and infertility, in some cases, death. But the landscape of muscle building is being reshaped as a growing number of fitness bros ditch the dangerous steroids and turn to a healthier and trendier performance enhancement option. While many gym bros still use this dangerous shortcut to get ripped, some have started switching over or even just pairing them with peptides, according to Jay Campbell, co-founder of Bio Longevity Labs. The majority of users are still using various anabolic steroids in combination with peptides, Campbell told the Post. Some of these peptides will probably, in some capacity, replace the need for steroids. And while steroids are still prevalent, Campbell believes peptides will eventually surpass them as the go-to gym supplement due to the significant benefits they offer. The latest trend for fitness buffs and biohackers, these injectable compounds hold the promise of enhanced longevity, boosted muscle growth, and of course, weight loss. GLP-1 drugs like Ozempic and I don't know, Mounjaro are perhaps the most well-known peptides on the market. Let's read this last bit here. Fans are increasingly combining groups of peptides to create stacks, taking several different kinds together to amplify their effects. Campbell believes there's such a big draw because peptides already exist naturally in our bodies. Peptides are naturally occurring and found as signaling molecules in the body. So when you take a synthesized form, it's just aiding your body's natural cellular system. Excuse me. While these short chains of amino acids that act as building blocks of protein can also be found in certain foods, the injectable option is often sought out for faster results. Okay. So as you guys can see, man, um, a lot of gym bros are slowly backing away from the natural steroid use. And rightfully so, man. Rightfully so. I can tell why, because steroid use, at least certain types, right? There's just certain types of steroids that you can purchase that will give you certain types of results. But unfortunately, the ones that get you all the muscles and cause the drastic muscle build, those typically come with the most issues. And long term, it's never a good idea, you know, because really you're supposed to only use steroids in cycles, right? You're not supposed to use this as a lifestyle. But the gym industry, and this has been for years, this is nothing new, right? We all know this already. The gym industry has abused steroids, anabolic steroids for years. You're only supposed to be using steroids for competition, and that competition should only be for a certain amount of time. But guys just got used to how they felt, how they looked, and it became a part of their lifestyle, to the point where this was an ongoing thing. And over time, the more you abuse steroids, the more problems that you face in the future. Infertility, hormonal imbalance. What else? There's certain ones that can eventually cause cancer. So, some guys felt like the risk was worth more than the reward, or the reward was worth more than the risk, rather. So they just decided to take that risk and go with it, man. And if you look at a lot of the guys, man, that were around back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, some of these guys look crazy right now, man. Some of these guys are looking insane. Some guys have just day-to-day life issues. They can't walk up steps. As much as I love the OGs, man, look at Ronnie Coleman, bro. Ronnie Coleman is out here. He can't even walk. Ronnie Coleman can't even walk. A lot of these guys they've had a lot of issues, man, due to the fact that they have just abused steroids for years on end. You know what I mean? And before you get into steroids, man, if you're thinking about taking steroids, one, you got to do your research. Some of you guys are just hopping on gear without doing research. You're hopping on gear because the guy that you go to the gym with, he's on gear and he just puts you on. Nah, man, there's steps before you get on gear, man. One, you got to get your blood work done. That's the first thing that you do. And then two, you have to have a safe recommended dosage before you start, because some of you guys, some gym guys, they don't know what the hell they're doing. They're taking way too much, way too soon, disrupting their hormones already, disrupting, future fertility. Like a lot of guys that take gear, a majority of guys that take gear don't know what the hell they're doing. They don't know how much they need to be taking. They don't know what they're taking, and they don't know how long they need to be on that for. So it's a growing epidemic now of young guys taking gear, which is kind of crazy to me. And it's unfortunate, but the peptide situation, It's gonna. I can see peptides being a replacement, but at the same time, um, peptides are that comes with its own issues as well. Like there's never going to be a safer option. There's just going to be a trade off. So whatever you choose to give up, you'll gain something, but it's just it depends on your risk tolerance, right? What are you willing to give up? Some guys are willing to give up, being acne free. Some guys are willing to give up being fertile. Some guys are willing to give up um, hormonal imbalances, right? Some guys are willing to give up their mood changes, mood swings. So pick your poison, man. But at the same time, I've always been an advocate to not use gear unless you have to, right? You're stepping on stage or you're an athlete, a real athlete. But if you're just using it to look good and take Instagram photos, I would highly recommend against it. You know, I recommend you not do that. I would just recommend you be on a regular workout routine, and eating the right foods and going to bed on time. So that's what I recommend. Some people can agree, some people can disagree. It is what it is. But I just know that, look, I want to be around when I'm 60. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to die at 45 of a heart attack or some complication because I abused gear for so long, all throughout my 20s and 30s. Like, I don't want to be that person. Like we've seen this happen too many times, So just be smart, man. If you're planning on taking gear, just make sure you guys are smart about it. All right. Let's move on to the next article here on the Fit Report. Shout out to everybody in here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hit that subscribe button. Yes, indeed. Let's move on to the second article. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? All right, here we go. Men are statistically more likely to stay at the gym longer if curves are present. People laugh at this, but attention science says otherwise. Research on motivation and visual stimuli show that environmental cues can increase focus, arousal, and time spent on task. Translation: what's around you affects how long you stay. Visual attraction can increase dopamine reward response. Dopamine increases drive and persistence. It's not just distraction, sometimes it's motivation. The brain associates reward with environment. Environment influences behavior. So here's a real question: are curves a distraction or extra motivation? My opinion is that it's both. It's definitely both. But I would say that it can be more seeing a very attractive woman at the gym can be very distracting. Way more than motivating, by the way. It's more distracting than motivating. Just think about it, man. You mid set, just got done benching 225, let's just say for me, right? Just got done benching 225. And let's just say, I don't know what y'all type is, but y'all just imagine your type, the girl that the type of girl that you like walks by you at the next, station or a station next to you, looking good, body right, curvy right. She wearing the booty shorts. She wearing the oversized shirt with the back tucked in so you can see her booty. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's popping, right? Do you really think that you're going to concentrate on that next set? Think about it. Do you really think now, like before you were focused, you were locked in. Now this girl walks right next to you, sits right next to you, or sits at the station next to you. And now your focus goes from you pushing this heavy ass weight to her and how good she looks. That's more distracting than motivating. Yes, it's good. You want to lift, you want to be able to lift this heavy ass weight right next to her so she can see how strong you are. But really, she don't care about that. Come on, man. Let's be honest. They don't care about how much weight you can lift. They really don't. They could give two damns about how much weight you can lift. I'm serious. I'm dead ass. So you trying to do too much, trying to impress the girl, or the girls at the gym with how strong you think you are, bro, nobody cares. I'm just saying, nobody really cares, man. But that is how most guys think. They're distracting. They're gonna get distracted because of this woman walked right by them. You know, so yeah, it can cause them to stay longer. It can cause them to you know hang around a little bit longer, but it's more of a distraction than it is motivation, in my opinion. You know, which is why sometimes I hate when I'm working out and a fine ass chick walk right next to me. I hate it. I hate it. You know, but it is what it is. So, um, I think it's definitely more of a distraction than it is motivation, in my opinion, man. Because when you working out, you're trying to be locked in. You ain't trying to be distracted by nobody, even just regular people coming up to you, trying to have conversations and stuff is pretty annoying. Um, which is why I try to go at a certain time so I can avoid that. Um, but yeah, man, it is definitely a distraction. Um, but hey, it is what it is. What can you do about it? It's not much you can do about it, you know. All right, man, let's get to the next article here. Before we get to it, make sure y'all hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got one more, right? All right, here we go. All right, here we go. A naked man arrested inside gym says he believed gym was judgment-free zone. Someone really took judgment-free zone the wrong way. A man was arrested after he walked into a Planet Fitness. I told y'all about that Planet Fitness, right? Planet Fitness in New Hampshire, left his clothes at the front desk and started doing yoga completely naked. When police showed up, he said he thought the slogan meant he could work out without clothes. Police did not agree. He was arrested and charged after people at the gym said they felt uncomfortable and unsafe. Let's take a look. Oh, okay, never mind. Oh, okay, it says the judgment free zone. Okay, I see where he's getting at. Wow. But again, man, this I try to tell y'all, bro. I try to tell y'all that the types of gyms that you work out at, man, it plays a big role in the type of experience that you're gonna get. You're not gonna get this at the Equinox. You're not gonna get this at the Lifetime. You're not gonna get this even at an EOS. You know, and then those gyms are just basic entry level gyms. But when you look at like the higher up ones, the ones that are like 150 and above, they got the sauna, they got the cold plunge. What else do they have? Um, just different amenities. You're just not gonna get this, man. You're not gonna get this type of behavior, you know. So it's not so much about the how do I say this? It's not so much about the the gym itself. It's more so about the experience, you know, which is why I tend not to go to 24-hour fitnesses or, even LA fitnesses, depending on the location, for this exact reason, man. You're just gonna get a different type of person in there that, quite frankly, I just don't like being around. You know, the higher the gym quality, the higher the gym membership, it just naturally pushes that type of people out of there. Let a naked person walk around the Equinox or a Lifetime and see what happens to them in the next 2 seconds. But in a Planet Fitness, it's gonna take hours for police to show up. Because 9 times out of 10, that 9 times out of 10, that Planet Fitness is gonna be in a very bad neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So there's just certain things, man, that you just want to avoid. Certain places you want to avoid. Um, certain places that comes with certain people. I hate to say it that way, you know. I don't mean to give elitist vibes, but it is what it is, man. Like there's just certain things after a while you just don't really want to be around. And having the right gym to go to, it really starts there. That's where it starts. Cuz the higher that price tag, the more you're going to push that type of person that you don't want to be around out of there. He wasn't even working out, man. Like, come on, he was just trying to cause a distraction. He wasn't really in there to work out and get better. Like, you're gonna get more people in there trying to get attention than actually working out. Another reason why they're taking away basketball courts in some of these gyms. Too much fighting. Way too much fighting in some of these gyms. You got guys complaining about, oh man, they're taking away the basketball courts. There's a reason why. There's a reason that's happening. You know what I mean? So again, just comes down to environment and the experience. Certain environments bring a certain energy. Certain energy brings a certain experience. So if you don't want to have to deal with that type of experience, well, you're gonna have to pay more. And that's just how life works, man. Unfortunately, you know, you want to live in Beverly Hills or you want to live in Watts. It's just you're gonna pay more in Beverly Hills, man. So you don't have to be in Watts, right? It's just how it goes. I don't make the rules. It's just how it goes. So y'all can decide what you want to do. Me, I chose not to be in that type of environment. So, you know, it is what it is. Luckily, right now I have two. So I do both. I have a higher end gym and I have a lower tier gym, but at least the lower tier gym that I go to, it ain't that bad. So all right, man. What do we got here? Let's move on. We got what the fitness article. Okay. So we got this video here. Let me go ahead and this is the wrong one. Let me refresh it. 1 second. 1 second. Where is that video at? Y'all give me 1 second. Damn, did I lose it? Uh-oh. Yeah, we might be hold on. Y'all give me 1 second. I think I lost it. This is not it. We do it live, guys. We do it live. Unfortunately, we do it live. All right. Oh, here it is. All right, here we go. Let me pull this up real quick. All right, here we go.
Like dogs, literally. The viral boy kibble trend is taking over social media, and it's really simple: ground beef and rice bowls. No frills, no fancy plating, just pure protein-packed fuel. Fitness fans say that they chow down up to 7 times a week to save money and pack on gains. Plus, it's cheap and easy. Some call it efficient, others call it sad, but nutritionists are saying it's probably a good idea to add some veggies to your boy kibble. So does it sound like a good meal to you? Let us know. And be sure to download Fox Local for live streaming news and more. Forget
kibble. So they're basically saying men are eating like dogs now because they want to start eating ground turkey and rice. Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy how people punish you for eating correctly? Like they punish you for eating how you're supposed to be eating. It's the craziest thing to me. Not punish you, but they kind of just make a joke out of it. But that's kind of where we are now, man. Like we've gotten to a point now in society where eating correctly, eating healthy is such it's such an unorthodox type of thing. Like it has to be made a big skeptical. right? Like think about when you go to your job, right? And you're trying to lose weight, you've meal prepped, you're bringing your own food to work. Everybody around you isn't really eating correctly, but then they see you and they're like, oh, they just make a big deal out of it, right? And it just gets very uncomfortable and awkward. And I'm just like, bro, this is how we're supposed to be eating anyway. Like, why make it so awkward? You know what I mean? But they want to label it as a boy kibble and eating like dogs, and it's kind of just it's weird to me, man. It's weird to me, you know. But when somebody pulls out a pizza or something else, then they're not going to say a word about it. That's just how normal Americans eat, right? So it's kind of weird to me, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of weird, but like I said, man, it is what it is. There's not much you can do about it. I'm all for it. Anytime anybody comes in and tries to do good with their diet, change up their diet, and refrain from eating how normal Americans are eating, the average American is eating, I'm all for it, man. So, you know, if eating kibble, quote unquote kibble, is gonna get you in shape, then so be it. Eat the kibble. All right, we got another one here. Speaking of kibble, we got a video here of some of you Taco Bell eaters. Where are we at? That's not it. Damn, I'm all out of sync today, man. Y'all gotta give me a second here. All right, here we go. This is it right here.
Was recalled after metal shavings were found in customer orders.
You are straight up eating chemically dyed tacos. Taco Bell's Doritos Locos hits you with over 50 ingredients. The shell is barely corn, dyed orange with 4 color additives, MSG, and sodium caseinate. The beef is worse. It's shipped in plastic bags, reheated, then squeezed onto your taco. 12% of it isn't even meat. It's cellulose, maltodextrin, and fillers. Even their seasoning scanned a seed oil base. 3 additives with over half the pack reading artificial. Comment app to scan safer brands.
2.3 million pounds.
The funny thing about all this is that people will see this. They'll see how everything is made. They'll see how food is prepared, whether it be online or in the store, whatever, and they'll still eat this. You got news outlets reporting on what's happening in these fast food places, and y'all will still run and go to the drive-thru and order it, which is insane to me. Like, who is eating Taco Bell in 2026? It makes zero sense. You know, you're not eating real cheese. It's fake cheese. It's fake meat. You got you got chemicals in the meat, in the food. You got artificial dye. You know, everything that's banned in other countries. But y'all will still run to the damn drive-thru, or drive to the drive-thru rather, and order this with no issues. I don't understand it. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I still, for the life of me, I don't understand how people are this undisciplined, man. It's insane to me, bro. How many news outlets, how many articles, how many videos do y'all need to see before y'all realize eating fast food probably isn't the best thing for me? How many people around you, right? How many people around you have to get cancer? How many people around you have to go become obese? How many people around you have to become sick and lazy before you realize, you know what? Eating McDonald's, eating Taco Bell, eating Wendy's, eating Burger King, that might not be a good idea. bro, I don't understand this shit, man. It's really disturbing out here. It's really disturbing to see people out here just living life and not caring about their health, man. It's kind of crazy to me. It really is crazy to me, man. But like I said, everyone isn't gonna make it. Unfortunately, everybody's not gonna make it. There has to be winners and losers. It's just how life works. There has to be people that succeed, and there has to be people that lose. It's how the world works. It's how the world has always worked. I hate to say it like that. I hate to be direct, but this is the reality. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, man, everybody's not going to be fit. Everybody's not going to be in great shape. Everybody's not going to have muscles. Everybody's not going to live a long, healthy life. There has to be people that are obese. There has to be people that are undisciplined and lazy. There has to be people that follow and not lead. It's just how life is, man. Everybody cannot be in the top percentile of certain categories. It can't be that way. Everybody can't be rich. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, man. But hey, bro, what side of the coin do you want to be on? What side of the coin do you want to be on, bro? Do you want to be lazy? Do you want to have a heart attack at 45 because your diet consisted of Wendy's and chicken nuggets and McChickens and Taco Bell? Or do you want to live a healthy, fruitful life into your 60s, 70s, 80s, God willing? And you know what I mean? Like, what side of the coin do y'all want to be on? I know what side I want to be on. And let me tell you, being on this side of the coin is very difficult. To be disciplined, it's very difficult. To be consistent in your routine every day, even when you don't want to do it, is very difficult. There's days I don't want to show up. I show up anyway. It's very difficult. Everybody can't do that, man. Everybody can't do that. No, we need motherfuckers out here that is underachieving. It's out here. It is what it is. You know, we need stronger people. Like, we need strong people, just like we need weak people. But the question to you is, what side of that coin do you want to be on? Damn. It is what it is, man. What side? Because, again, you're going to see people see videos of metal in taco meat, fake ass McDonald's hamburgers, rubber ass chicken nuggets, and they're still going to eat it. Still going to eat it. Those people have placed themselves in a certain category. You, on the other hand, you have a choice to make. Either you're going to follow suit or you're going to do the opposite and be on a different journey. But you can't do both. You can't do both. So you got to choose, man. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the next video. This might be the last one, I believe so. All right, we got a guy here. Let me refresh this. He says, which one would you choose? Being fat and rich or buff and broke? Let's take a look.
Worse, a fat rich person or a buff broke person? I mean, they're both bad, but I think that if you are buff and broke, it tells me that you are very disciplined, but you're kind of like a narcissist and only focus it on your appearance.
On yourself. Okay.
It's all me. Protein.
Yeah, I gotta look good.
He said
I gotta
protein.
look good. So you're saying fuck everything else.
You're focusing on your gains and not on your
Now you're
account
focusing on your gains, and it's displaying a sense of narcissism
or attention.
because now this is all that matters.
But-
What's
Yeah, man. That's a hard one. Now, look, if I had to choose, now depending on how the guy got his money, I would choose fat and rich, only because I've done, I think, the hardest thing, which is become rich and make a lot of money. That's very hard, and you have to have a certain level of discipline to do that. So the discipline is there, right? The discipline is definitely there, but he needs to transfer that discipline into other areas, mainly his body. So if he doesn't take care of that discipline, if he doesn't transfer that discipline to his health, the money means nothing. You know, because I've been the fit broke dude. Yeah, it's cool. You know, you'll get, chicks, or at least older chicks. You know what I'm saying? But you lack access, man. You lack access, but you still get respect because you are in great shape, right? So it's a catch-22. There's definitely benefits to both, right? Being rich is going to get you respected, but being fat is also not going to get you respected, So obviously, I always tell people, man, do both, be rich and in shape, but that's very hard to do. That's like 0.2% of the population. Or 0.1% of the population. Everybody can't be fit and rich or financially well off. Usually you're gonna have to choose one. Most people are gonna stick. If you gave most people the option to choose, hey, would you rather be rich or in shape? Obviously, most people would choose in shape. Or excuse me, obviously most people would choose rich. But the problem with that is, if you are out of shape, if you are overweight, how long is that money going to last? Because it can only last for so long because of you not taking care of your health. Like, what happens if you get very sick and now you're in a hospital bed? You can't do nothing, right? You can't use the money. You can't go on vacation. You can't buy a new car. That's not going to really mean much at that point, right? So what are you going to do? The money means nothing at that point. But also on the flip side, obviously, yes, being in shape is good, but it don't pay no bills. You limit kind of your access to life in a sense. So there's definitely pros and cons to both. Me, honestly, man, I think if you already have the money, it's easier to get in shape because now you can just buy, you can buy your way into shape. You have to have the discipline still, right? But at least you can use the money as a tool to get you what you need. You can afford the personal trainer, you can afford the chef, you can afford the person that's keeping track of your macros, your trainer. You can afford the recovery tools. You got access to the best health club. So I think it's way more beneficial. If I had to choose, I would choose to be fat and rich because the money's already there. Now it's just about losing weight, and that could be done in about 3 to 6 months if you're very consistent. But when you're fit and broke, now you got to come up with a business plan. You got to find funding, do marketing. And there's no guarantee that you're going to turn profit. You know what I'm saying? There's no guarantee that business is going to work. There's no guarantee that that you'll make money in a certain amount of time. It could take years. It could take plenty of years, 5, 10, 15. Like, you just don't know. So it's easier to just go with the guaranteed one. At least for me, my mentality is, man, I'd rather just go with being fat and rich, and I'll just pay for the access. You know what I'm saying? So All right, man. We're at the 45-minute mark. Shout out to everybody in here. Everybody tapping in. All right, man. Today we are talking about the main events. The main event today, man, we are talking about America has a weak man apocalypse. So as you guys know, man, there's a lot of weak men out here, bro. It's a lot of weak men that is walking amongst us. There's a lot of men out here that don't have strong opinions. You know, they have a weak mentality. They have a sheep-like mentality. They just follow the crowd. They follow what's happening. You know, you got guys wearing purses and stuff in the club. I just seen that on Instagram or Twitter. I think it was Twitter, man. It was a bunch of kids in the club. It looked like guys in their early 20s, wearing purses, and the girls were beneath them, just looking around. And I'm just like, bro, is this what club culture has turned into? Like, this is insane what club culture has turned into. You know what I mean? And it's just, man, it's crazy, bro. It's really insane to what we've allowed society has come into us. It's insane to what we've allowed society to turn into. It's really crazy. We punish men for being men. We scream about toxic masculinity and all this other bullshit that doesn't mean nothing. You know, it's just a weird time, man. You know, being in shape and being strong and in the gym, taking care of yourself, speaking out about things that you don't like, having an opinion, being disagreeable. These things are low key, kind of, to be honest, these things are demonized and used against you. They're going to say you're toxic. They're going to say that, you're a toxic alpha male, or, you watch Andrew Tate, and it's just like, nah, it's called being a man. You know what I'm saying? I don't like my nails painted. I don't wear purses like these guys are wearing. You know what I'm saying? I wear clothes that fit me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not wearing dangling earrings. That's just not what I do. And no disrespect to anybody that does that. But the era I come from, we don't do that. We don't paint our nails. We don't sound like women. We don't have the same talking points as women. We don't dress like women. We don't wear dresses. Like, so I don't know, man. Like, we work out. We try to stay strong and fit and healthy. We have opinions. We are disagreeable. We know how to say no. We don't let people take advantage of us. Like, I thought these were just principles that all men followed. But now in 2026, these things are demonized. These things are used against us. And I'm not here trying to promote alpha male, beta male. I'm not doing that. I'm promoting masculinity. And a core pillar of masculinity is being strong and fit. And we do not have that in this day and age. We have a bunch of weak ass men out here with bird chests and high pitched voices. Pencil neck geeks out here. And I'm just like, yo, what happened to being a man, bro? Like, being a man used to be cool. Used to be cool to be a man. I don't know what happened now, but we're in a weird era. We're in a weird space. It's a bunch of soy boys out here. Like, I don't get it, man. Guys don't want to work out. Guys shame guys that work out in the gym all the time. They're telling that guys that work out all the time in the gym are gay. It's weird. It's really weird energy out here, man. Like, you can't do nothing right out here. You can't take care of your body. If you spend more than 4 or 5 days in the gym, they're gonna call you broke. He ain't making no money. How you know what I got? Like, it's just all cope, man. It's all cope. For them not being able to measure up to what real men do, like taking care of business. Like, it's a weird time that we live in now, man. But Yeah, we're in a weak man apocalypse, man. We got more trolls. Look at the average troll. The average troll is a man. It's not women, bro. Women don't troll as much as men do. And it's weird. It's really weird out here. I don't know who is raising these people. I don't know who, is causing these guys to act like this, but it's very weird out here. It's sickening. You know what I mean? You got men that act like women. It's crazy. They're using women terms and speaking like women, and I just never subscribed to that, man. I always say, look, man, let the women have their words. Let them say, let them have their slang. Let them talk how they want to talk. That doesn't mean you need to adopt the things that they say. And y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Women have certain words that they use, certain terms and terminologies and slang that they use to sound cute and all this. Let them have that. You don't need to adopt that. You don't need to adopt that. You can have your own words. We can talk like men. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need to talk like women, bro. It's okay. But it's an apocalypse, man. It's a pandemic of just weak men. It's a pandemic of soy boys. I get more men in the comment section that argue with me than women do. And I don't argue with women, but you got more men arguing with me about certain things, certain topics. Like, bro, you don't need to leave a comment. If you see something on Instagram that you don't like, you don't need to comment on it. It's okay. Okay, the girl said that she needs $50K a month from her man. Why do you need to comment on that? It's okay. Clearly she has you triggered. Right? Okay, she said that she doesn't date guys unless they're 6'5", tall, makes $100K an hour and drives a Bugatti. You don't need to comment on that, man. There's no need to argue with that. Okay, that's what she wants. Can she get it? Who knows? I hope she does. But there's no need to argue with her in the comments. There's no need to leave mean comments and you're going to be single forever. Like, y'all are just, it's incel talk, man. It's incel shit. It's weird. It's really weird out here, man. It's really weird out here. But, man, I'm always going to push for masculinity and guys to be at the highest versions of themselves. And that starts with your fitness. Because, listen, man, one thing I will say about this, when you're in the gym and you're working hard and you're pushing that heavy ass weight around and you're locked in, you're focused on the goal, you're focused on getting stronger, you're focused on building muscle, you don't have time for any outside nonsense. You don't have time for any outside talk. You don't have time for any dumb discussions because you're locked in on your goals. And that's what I want guys to get back to. Just let's get back to the goals, man. Let's get back to achieving goals. Let's get back to hitting the gym. Let's get back to eating like a man, right? Let's get back to just man shit. Like, being a man is cool still, despite what they say. It's still cool to be a man. Don't let them shame you from being a man. Don't let them shame you from not voicing your opinion. So that's all I got to say for today, man. Do better, y'all. I want y'all to do better. Please. It's still a man's world, despite what they say. And shout out to the ladies. We love y'all, appreciate y'all, but it's still a man's world out here. And that's all I'm going to say for that. I'm going to see y'all on Friday. Peace.